Good afternoon. Give me one moment here. Give my laptop a refresh and make sure that I'm live. And it looks like I am live. So, good afternoon. Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So I thought I had the wide angle view on my phone fixed, and it looked pretty good, and now I'm back to the wide angle view. So I give up. I don't know. Hi, Mary. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I am going to scooch this up a bit. Like, I don't get it. Why all of a sudden I have this wide angle view? It's crazy. Anyway, new technology is great, but when something goes wrong and you can't figure it out, I don't know. So it may be a Facebook issue. I'm going to blame it on Facebook. But let me move this up just a tad more. And there we go. All right. Okay. So I have a card here today, and I've used products from the Season of Elegance Suite collection. These will be available in just a few short days on September 4th when the new mini catalog launches. Hey, Rosie, thank you for joining. And just beautiful, beautiful. So let me just review some products here that I've used today. So I've used the Peaceful Evergreens bundle, and so I've got a few of my stamps out already, but it gives you a variety of pine trees, some kind of ground swishes, if you will, some dots, and then it's got 2 pages here of dies. And so these will cut out the stamped image shapes. These will cut out detailed trees. This one will cut out little dots on your paper, and then if you put a contrasting paper underneath, that will show through. It's got a little star. And then I had to ask my friend Mary what these dies were for. I couldn't figure it out. Well, if you cut 2 of these, and you cut this, and you cut this, these get kind of bent in half, not folded, not creased, but kind of folded in half and glued together, and then adhered on either side of this little ribbon die, and then you put the square on top. It will make a nice little paper bow. So really handy. Yeah, but I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what the heck are these? So, and the catalog does actually give you a little hint. It's not on the page of the suite. I think it might be a page prior to the suite, but anyway, it is out there, so you have a visual. Hi, Faye, thanks for joining. So that's bundle number 1 as part of the Seasons of Elegance suite, and bundle number 2 is the Peaceful Season. So as you can see, a sentiment suite, lots of great holiday sentiments in this suite. But there's a few sentiments, and I've used one on my sample card, and I'm going to use another today, that I would consider all occasion. And that is, what did I use here on the inside of my card? All the best. And then wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. And I just thought those were kind of all occasion sentiments. Can't talk today. And then the dies include some fantastic label dies, and a few of these dies will cut little slots on the corners so that you can weave ribbon through them, which is really fun. And then we have the words Christmas in script, and this one cuts the background for the Christmas sentiment. So if you wanted to do contrasting colors, you could do that. Fabulous set. So that's bundle number 2. And wait, there's more. We have a Painted Trees 3D embossing folder, and on my sample card, I did use that embossing folder on a piece of basic beige here on the background, just because I wanted a little texture to show through, and it is beautiful. And I'm going to show you something. I had to play with this embossing folder and another product, and I'll share that with you in a bit. And then we have the Season of Elegance 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. I'm not going to take all of these out, but we've got Basic Beige, Pretty Peacock, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Cherry Cobbler. One side is all, the gold foil accents on the paper, just beautiful. And the other side is, just a matte finished paper. So just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas paper. Just beautiful. Really, you can use it for any occasion. That Pretty Peacock, I'm looking forward to cutting that one up and using that. And then we have gold textured adhesive back dots. And these do have little gold flecks in them. I'm sure you can't see it on the camera. I can see it. So they're really beautiful. And then we have some Cherry Cobbler satin ribbon. This ribbon is, so I will tell you that it does crinkle. And actually it looks like I've pulled the ribbon there. I'll have to cut that off. So if you were to crease it, that crease is going to stay in the ribbon. So you want to kind of treat it gently, but it's thin. It ties beautifully, and it's just gorgeous. My sample card does not have this ribbon, but the card I'm going to do today is going to include a little bit of ribbon. I'm going to change things up a bit. All right, so let's get started. Put my sample card over here, get some pieces out. I did do a little bit of pre-stamping and pre-die cutting for today, just for the sake of time. So I have stamped a couple of the pine trees, the small and medium tree, and I've stamped those in Old Olive ink on Old Olive cardstock. And then I've cut the small and the medium detailed trees as well. We're going to do a little something with those. That is the embossed panel, and look at all that beautiful, beautiful texture. Just gorgeous. Love it. I've got a Mossy Meadow card base, and let's get a little bit of stamping done here. I'm going to pull in a piece of scrap paper here. And like I mentioned, I'm going to change up my card for today. I saw a little spot on my cardstock, so let's hope I get this stamped straight. So my sample card, I just used the All the Best sentiment, and I stamped the multi-tree image down here in an Old Olive in the corner. But for today's card, I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Cherry Cobbler because Cherry Cobbler is just beautiful. And let's see if we can, I haven't used this stamp yet. And I'm hoping it, sometimes you need to clean these photopolymer stamps off a bit, but let's see if we can get it to stamp nicely here, hopefully. Hold your breath. Okay, that looks good. We can put our Cherry Cobbler away. That's all I'm going to be needing of that. And let me get my Old Olive out. They are beautiful trees, Faith. In my opinion, you can never have enough pine trees in stamping, in card making. I love pine trees. I just love them. I just re-inked my Old Olive this morning, so hopefully, and even though the stamp set doesn't say that this is a distinctive stamp, I believe it's a distinctive stamp. I can see the different heights on the red rubber when I ink this. And I'm just going to, instead of the multi-tree image, I'm just going to stamp a couple of my trees here. Look how beautiful that stamps. Oh, that's so pretty. Just so pretty. All right. And I'm going to just put a little tree there next to that. And then we'll do the same thing here with our envelope. Let me set that aside to dry. And find a clean space to put my envelope so I don't get ink on it. Because we know how that happens, right? And I'm going to do the same thing here on my envelope. Stamp that large tree. and then come back and stamp that little shorter tray. It's amazing how much better your stamp pads work when you re-ink them. Just saying. It was getting a little dry. I find that the darker inks seem to dry up quicker. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway. So I'm going to grab my little pine trees here. And I'm going to grab one of these. So you can see that I have a center panel here on this card. And that is a piece of Mossy Meadow and then 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper. And this card will be on my blog tomorrow. So all of the instructions will be out there for you. So you don't need to worry about it today. And this card was created for a sketch challenge for the Happy Ink and Thursday blog hub. So that is tomorrow. You'll be able to find links on my blog. So I'm pulling out Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm going to open that up, and I don't want to get my stuff inky. Okay, so this particular piece of Mossy Meadow measures, let me see here, this measures 4.5 by 2.5 inches. But I want this to finish at 4 inches by 2.5 inches. So what I've done here for my card is I am just going to tear approximately, right? It's hard to be accurate, but I'm going to tear approximately 1/4 inch from each short end of my panel here. And hopefully I don't tear it too much. And then I'll have to cut another piece, but about 1/4 inch. And if it's not exact, it's okay. Because we want this to kind of look, my new thing is distressed. We want it to look distressed. And I'm just going to hold my other panels up here and make sure that I'm still good. So my edges are still showing. And that one's kind of going up in the air, but I'm good with that. It's fine. All right, we're good. So I am going to take a sponge dauber and, whoops, if I don't lose it, gosh, I just threw it up in the air. So my sponge daubers, after I use them, I just wash them out and blot them on a paper towel. So this looks like it's purple, but it's clean. There's no ink coming off, so don't be dismayed. And I'm going to actually flip this cardstock over because where I tore that, you can kind of see the fiber in the paper, and I want that to show. And I'm just going to ink up my sponge dauber, and I am going to ink the edges of this Mossy Meadow to make them really dark. I want them super dark. Do this first. Actually, I probably should have done it sooner to give that ink, that dark ink, time to dry. I'll try to be careful, but you can see how much that really darkens that cardstock, and that's exactly what I wanted. I'm going to set this somewhere safe and let it dry for just a second, and then I'm going to grab my old olive pine trees, and I'm just going to very carefully, these are delicate, so you don't want to be too crazy with your sponge dauber, but I'm just going to kind of darken the edges there a bit on these die cuts, just to kind of make these two-tone. So as you get up towards the point there, you've got to be careful. They're a bit delicate, not bad. All right, and we'll come in and we'll do our other one. So it got hot here again. We were enjoying some fantastic weather, and it got really, really hot. We're under a heat advisory. The temperature's not showing on my laptop right this second, or I would tell you how hot it is, but it's pretty warm. I think I've got ink on me, but hopefully I don't get it on my card. I'm going to close up that ink. We are done with that. And I'm going to kind of set those aside to dry for just a minute. Get rid of my scrap paper, and I'm going to bring in my my embossed panel. And I mentioned I was going to add a pop of red to this card. I have already measured in 1.5 inches from the left edge of this embossed panel. Oh, you're hot too, Faith, yeah. And that just reminds me, let me grab my scissors because I saw that this ribbon was damaged. So I need to cut that off, that damaged part. I don't really know how that happened. But the reason that I kind of mark the reverse of my cards is it gives me kind of a point to shoot for, right? When I'm attaching ribbon or anything like that. And my Stampin' Seal doesn't want to come out here. But it just gives me a landing spot when I am wrapping ribbon around a card, which is what I'm going to do on this card. And let me see here, about that much. Should do it. And then I'm able to just center my ribbon on that point, wrap it around, and then center it on the opposite point. And it just, I don't know. It's just me. I could eyeball it, I guess. But that's my OCD kicking in. Look how pretty that cherry cobbler ribbon is. And that, by the way, that ribbon is trimmed in gold. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see it on the camera. All right, we're going to adhere this to our card front. And we can actually put our inside panel in as well. You're hot again too, Mary. Yeah, I don't know. I guess summer's not done yet. But in a couple of days, like I think by Saturday, we're going to be back in the 70s. So go figure. Alrighty. And I'm just going to center this on my card front. I love the liquid glue. Gives you a little bit of wiggle time because I never get it on straight or as straight as I'd like the first time. And then I'll give that a nice little press. And then we can put our panel, our inside panel inside the card. I'm hoping this little string of ribbon is going to really brighten this card up. I like my original card, but I kept looking at that ribbon and I'm like, oh, I really want ribbon on my card. So I thought, well, I can put it on my video card. And I'm just looking for that equal reveal all the way around that panel on the inside of my card. And already my cutting blade needs replacing, I can tell, because my cardstock's getting little bridges when I cut it. I don't have little fuzzies yet, but it's getting close. All right, and now we are going to grab our panel that we tore the edges on, and then we inked up the edges to darken them. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of this Season of Elegance DSP on top of the Mossy Meadow. So this is a super easy card to put together. It really is. And again, I'm looking to just kind of have equal distance, top and bottom, between these two panels. It's a little, I think I tore this a bit more than I would have liked, but it's fine because you can see it. You can see the cardstock underneath. Rosie, I think where you are, you're in for some much cooler weather coming, I think, is what I saw. I could be mistaken. And then I'm going to go ahead and, so I matted the gold side, the gold foiled side, up on the Mossy Meadow panel. And for the basic beige panel, I'm going to put up just the B side, the matte side, if you will, of that paper. And again, I'm looking for an equal distance, top and bottom, between that panel underneath and the panel on top. And just make sure that they're flush on the edges. I can see that my paper is showing here a little bit. That's why I like liquid glue. Gives you that couple of seconds to line things up if you need to. All right, that looks good to me. I think we can cap this for now. Cool 60s, 70s, up 90 today, and then back down starting tomorrow. I think you're in for some really cool weather is what I thought I saw. And then we are going to go ahead and pop this panel up. So what do you think? Thumbs up for the red ribbon or without the ribbon? What do you guys think? Well, let's wait till we get the card done. I am going to pop this panel up with Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm using my leftover Stampin' Dimensionals from kit projects. If you're wondering, I usually cut my Stampin' Dimensionals in half, but these, I'm using the whole kit and caboodle. I've got a lot of little, like, partially used up sheets. The 4-letter S word has been mentioned. Yeah, I thought so, Rosie. Oh my, well, what are you going to do? I was watching a video, I was actually watching a reaction video to a video someone made about the Texas freeze that they had down there a few years ago, and they lost power, and quite a few people died in that. That was heart-wrenching. But let's say a prayer that we don't have that kind of extreme weather this winter. And I'm just looking to try and get this centered as best I can. That looks fairly good to me. And now I'm going to go ahead and, did I cut the wrong sizes? I did. What did I do? Oh no, maybe I'm good. No, I think I cut the wrong sizes. Well, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to make this fit. I am not recutting that. I am going to chop this off right about there, and only us will know. No one else will be able to tell. I think that's going to look just fine. It happens. It happens. And I'm just going to grab my liquid glue here and run a line. You're thinking of moving to the equator. I don't blame you. I don't know. I don't mind a snowstorm now and then. The ice storms, they're terrible. The sleet storms, which is what we usually get where I live. They're awful. And then where you live, Rosie, it is just brutally cold. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I give you a lot of credit. All right. Just adhering our little pine trees here to our stamped images. And I'm just basically running a thin line of glue right up the center. I don't need to adhere every little branch. And I'm just trying to use as little as possible. And we'll lay that down. And get this adhered up. Try to make them straight. There we go. Okay. I like the dimension of putting the detailed tree on top of the stamped image. I just thought it gave it a lot of dimension. All right, our little tree, and if you've noticed, there's no sentiment on this card. I thought these trees were so pretty, and I'm going to kind of hide that bottom edge there that I fixed. So that's where I want my big tree. So let me get some glue on this small tree. And I'm going to just tuck him under, and I think I had that one sitting just a bit higher, right about there. And then the larger tree is going to get put on with Stampin' Dimensionals. You're a witch on a broom when it gets below 32. Oh, you poor thing. I know. Arthritis is not fun. And, yeah. You know what, Rosie, you should do? Maybe you have one. Get a hot tub. I'll tell you, we don't have a hot tub. I wish we did. But the times that I have used a hot tub, I got to tell you, I have so much better mobility soaking in a hot tub for a bit. It really, really helps. And maybe something like that would help you. but that's miserable. Arthritis is not for sissies, that's for sure. And I'll tell you, I'm a big old sissy when my joints start aching. I can't stand it. But that is what happens when you get older. It's just so much fun. All right. Let's put our other tree on here. And we've got this one popped up with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put it right about there. I see a little bit of glue peeking through. I like to take the flat edge of my tweezers and just use that flat edge to push back any adhesive that might be jumping out that I can see shining. And that looks good. See a little spot there and a little spot there. Not a lot, but all right, now I'm going to ask, what do you think? With ribbon or without? I really like the red ribbon. I really, really do. Let me hold these flat. Isn't that gold pretty on that paper? I got more gold on this one than I did on this one. But anyway, so I am going to add a few of these gold textured adhesive back dots because they are so darn pretty. And so that kind of introduces another color to the card. And I'm going to put one up there. Yeah, I like the ribbon too, Rosie. I'm all about the ribbon, I think. And I'm just using the small dots for this. I didn't want to overwhelm these pretty pine trees. So I'm just putting a couple around. And we are almost done here. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, that's the finished envelope. That I don't need that one. Let me grab the unfinished envelope. There we go. And then we will be done. So we are almost at the end of August, which means that the Designer Series paper sale ends on August 31st. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, be sure that you do. 15% off select Designer Series papers from the annual catalog. And you can find that information out on my website. And bonus day coupons. If you earned bonus day coupons in July, you have until the end of August to redeem those. So don't forget, because those $5 off coupons, you know, every dollar counts. And what else? What else? Mini catalogs. So the new catalog is coming out on September 4th. So next week. And I have been sharing products with you from the new mini, and they are awesome. And I'm looking forward to playing with them some more. And there's some stuff I haven't purchased, so I'm looking forward to getting a few more things to play with and share with you all. And also on September 4th, Stampin' Up! Is releasing some scrapbooking kits and products. They have a little brochure, and that will come out with a mini catalog. I will have those catalogs up, the catalog and the brochure, up on my website on the 4th. I'll do that in the morning early. And so you can take a look. But I got to tell you, there is a Halloween scrapbooking kit. And I think it would be perfect to cut that cardstock up and use all those pieces for cards. So we didn't have a lot of Halloween products this year in the mini. And the Haunted House kit sold out like within a matter of days. So yeah. So I'm thinking I may grab one of those scrapbooking kits and use it for Halloween cards, because there's some fun paper and some little punch outs and that kind of thing. I think some stickers. And I think it'd be real cute to make some cards from that. So, and who knows, I might even make a scrapbooking page. I'm not planning on it, but you never know. That is my card for today, using the Season of Elegance products, in particular Peaceful Evergreens products, these lovely pine trees. So I hope you enjoyed. I will be back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you'll hop on. Thanks so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. And you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.